Just a little bit about me, first and foremost. I'm CEO of Windy City Equipment. My name is Josh Zolan. Been doing that for about 15, 16 years now. Today, we're not going to talk about technology at all. We're going to talk about soft skills and their place in our lovely industry. I'm a firm believer that people resist what they're told and they accept what they conclude. A big part of soft skills and leadership is being able to guide people through the use of questions. What's the difference between soft skills and character? I believe that soft skills are transferable to all areas of life. Whether it's in your work, whether it's with your friends, whether it's with your family, you can use these soft skills in any aspect of what you do and who you are. They can be learned and they can be taught. And I happen to think that they're underemphasized in the world of business, especially field service. Why wait until we're considering these people for management or leadership positions before we give this knowledge? Soft skills are things like communication and leadership and emotional intelligence and conflict resolution and actually teaching, right? Teaching is a soft skill in itself. Whereas when we compare it to somebody's character, I like to say those are their natural abilities. In a recent LinkedIn survey, 57% of leaders consider soft skills to be more important than hard skills. Now, this is a pretty striking statistic right here. Full transparency, I don't necessarily know if I believe this, especially in the space that we're in, field service, skilled trades. The importance of what we can do with our hands can't be overstated. However, I think that it is a very narrow margin. Why are these skills so important? Number one, it makes life a hell of a lot easier. If we have a bunch of people that we're leading that understand how to communicate, that understand how to connect with people, that understand the importance of resolving conflict and garnering respect and giving respect, our jobs would be super simple, right? If everybody just was incredibly good at that. What is our job as leaders? It's to breed more leaders. There's just such a big portion of this that's missing that can close this gap between being successful for ourselves and for our people. According to a study by Boston College, Harvard University, and University of Michigan, soft skill training, specifically in communication and problem solving, boosts productivity by 12%, productivity and retention. In another study of more than 2,600 hiring managers and HR professionals, 71% said that they value emotional intelligence in an employee more than they value IQ. What does this mean? It means that it doesn't matter how smart somebody is, we want people who understand how to work with other people. We want people who can articulate themselves properly and carry themselves properly within our organization, because that's how we all thrive. That's how they thrive, and that's how we thrive. So it's no surprise that in that same study, 75% of people said they were more likely to promote an employee with high emotional intelligence. Everybody, when I say communication, usually thinks that I'm talking about the words that are coming out of your mouth. In fact, though, the biggest part of communication, in my mind, is what you hear, not what you say. How we communicate is much more important than what we communicate. Anybody can be a deliverer of information from point A to point B to point C, but it's how we do that that oftentimes leads us to success or failure with those interpersonal relationships. Body language. So this is kind of the thing that ties it all together. It's got a larger impact, I think, than many of us know. And even if we already know that, this is a good refresher. Like if I said, "What's your name, sir, in the blue shirt?" Chad? Chad, what sessions did you attend today? Oh, that was a good one. Right. Yeah. Did it feel like I was interested in what you were saying just now? Yeah, all right. Let's do another example. You in the orange shirt, what's your name? David. What sessions did you attend today? That's cool, did you like it? Nice. Very cool. Did that feel like I enjoyed talking to you just now? No, but you know what? This is what we find ourselves doing. Half the time we're not conscious. We want to be able to be inviting. We got that open door policy we always talk about. And we're sitting there at our computer and somebody comes in and we're glancing over at our screen. These are called micromannerisms. The importance of body language cannot be overstated, guys. This is something that we need to be mindful of. People will take this away and they'll draw their own conclusions. And that's not something that you want as a leader. If they can do this with you, they can do this with their coworkers, right? And back and forth. So I'm a firm believer that everybody is a leader. Because leadership at the end of the day is not about having direct reports. It's not about being a boss, a supervisor, a manager. No, it's about influence, right? It's just influencing other people. Personally, I know that I have several leaders on the front line of my company. And the problem is that, again, without this type of training, they don't understand the power of the influence that they have sometimes. So if they're not properly trained in the soft skills, they could be leading somebody in the wrong direction. So here's the thing about leadership, especially in our position. It takes trust. You can't be in a leadership position without gaining trust. The thing about trust is it takes time. And what as leaders don't we have? Time? Right. Oftentimes we have to build that trust while also figuring out and thinking to ourselves, how can we not spend too much time doing this? There's got to be a balance. How do we do that? How do we build trust and save time? It's one of my favorite things. It's open-ended questions. There's two kinds of open-ended questions: curious and thought-provoking. Curious questions, these are the ones that build trust. They help us understand. We need to ask open-ended, curious questions to be able to understand the circumstances of what somebody is talking about as quickly, concisely as possible. And then we move to thought-provoking questions. Remember when I said that people resist what they're told and they accept what they conclude? The thought-provoking questions are what help people connect the dots. So I need a volunteer from this side and a volunteer from this side. Chris and Corey, I want you to think of an object. Let's think of an object in an office setting. Everybody's objective here is to guess what that object is. This team over here can only use open-ended questions. This team over here, you can only use closed questions. Yes or no questions. And go. Oh, we got it. All right. You guys can stop. Now we're gonna do the same thing and we're gonna switch. Got it. Let's give Chris and Corey a round of applause. So what did we learn? Open-ended questions are a quicker way to get to an answer. None of this, guys, means anything if we can't pass the knowledge on. So we need to cascade this, right? And if we can, the impact will compound across our entire organization. We, as leaders, as managers, as professionals, we've got to figure out not only what it is that we want to teach, what we need to teach, right, but how to teach it correctly. And we could possibly even begin to understand things about them that we didn't before, like who is fit for leadership in the organization. Who is willing to increase their value so we can increase ours? And at the end of the day, these people, specifically in these industries, have not been taught these things. And it shows. And they should.